Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the August 2nd regular meeting of the Jacksonville Beach City Council. We'll begin with an invocation delivered by Mr. Jansen, followed by a salute to the flag. Please rise.
Please rise. Let us pray. Good and gracious Heavenly Father, your grace is abundant. Lord, we just ask you that you guide us to the governance of this great city. And Lord, we just ask you that you look over our great nation as we suffer through another round of COVID. And Lord, we just ask you that you pour your blessings upon us. And we just thank you for your Son, for it's in his name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Dumont? Here. Councilmember Golding? Here. Councilmember Jansen?
Here.
Councilmember Meza?
Here.
Councilmember Nichols?
Here.
Councilmember Stokes?
Here.
Mayor Hoffman?
Here. We've been busy, so bear with us as we go through approval of the minutes. Item 137.
Move that we approve the minutes from the council briefing held on July 12, 2021.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Ms. Dumont.
Thank you. That is the one that I think is the when Councilor Nichols had a lot of technical problems with the late, and I think he also left. You didn't make it through the whole meeting. I think your Zoom stopped and you popped out. So I don't know if you want to revise that. But you left, arrived late, left early, technical issues, some kind of an asterisk or something like that.
It says he was late on the...
That's but not that he left early. He was only there for about 20 minutes. Because he wasn't able to report out on his floor to lead the city's policy.
Madam Clerk, is that something you would like to see reflected in the minutes?
We can. Normally we just mark if someone is late.
Okay, so we don't normally mark if someone leaves early?
I don't believe
We have in the past, there were a couple of times council members left early.
Would you make a motion to
I'm
amend?
making a motion to amend to say that he arrived late, left early with an asterisk that it was technical issues that he was having.
Is there a second for the amendment?
Second.
Any discussion on the amendment? Roll call? Yeah, go ahead and do roll call.
Councilmember Dumont?
Yes.
Councilmember Golding?
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen?
No.
Councilmember Meza?
Yes.
Councilmember Nichols?
Yeah.
Councilmember Stokes?
Sure, yes.
Mayor Hoffman?
Yes. Amendment carries. Any other discussion on the original motion to approve the council briefing minutes? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 138.
I move that we approve the minutes from the special council meeting held on July 14, 2021, city attorney interviews.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 139.
Move that we approve minutes from the regular council meeting held on July 19, 2021.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 140.
I move that we approve minutes from the council workshop held on July 22, 2021 for the charter review.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 141.
I move that we approve the minutes from the special council meeting held on July 26, 2021, city attorney final interviews.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 142.
I move that we approve the minutes from the council workshop held on July 26, 2021, charter review.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Dumont.
Thank you. Section 19, it was regarding when a candidate can withdraw his or her nomination. It was not going to be at noon of the last day. It's when the timing ends for qualifying submission. In case that ever changes, this way we don't have to revise it again.
Can you make that in the form of a motion to amend?
I'd like to make a motion to amend Section 19 comment that which a candidate shall withdraw their nomination at the same time and day as when qualifying ends.
Second. There's a motion to amend and a second. Any discussion on the amendment? Madam Clerk, roll call. Sorry, Mr. Stokes?
Should we see that in some sort of writing before voting on that? Because I have that we didn't make any substantive changes, and without it, I don't know if this is, if we approve this and it goes into the finalized format, that it's been approved by Mr. Shepherd.
It all comes back to us again before, it will all come back with all the changes.
Any other discussion on the amendment? Madam Clerk, can you roll call the amendment, please?
Councilmember Golden?
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen?
Yes.
Councilmember Meza?
Yes.
Councilmember Nichols?
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes?
Yes.
Councilmember Demont?
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman?
Yes. Amendment carries. Is there any other discussion on the minutes as presented and amended? Mr. Stokes?
Yeah, the July 26th one is in here twice. I don't know if that's is it? It says 5:30 on both of them. It's the same one on the 26th. I don't know if that's just a error or, I have two.
Yeah, I took it as just an error when the packet was put together.
I take it the amendment would be on both of them, both.
I concur. Any other discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Announcements from the council. Ms. Golding?
Just want to remind the community that we have budget workshops going on right now. Tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we'll be discussing the police budget. And then next week, on Monday, August 9th at 5 o'clock, we'll be discussing public works, planning and development, and redevelopment budgets. And then Tuesday, let's see, August 10th at 5 o'clock, Beaches Energy, Parks and Rec. And then also want to let everyone know that Beaches Watch has a meeting on Wednesday, August 4th at 7 o'clock via Zoom. This is a thoughtful conversation about gun issues with speakers that will be discussing various sides of the issue. There's a Dr. Robert Spitzer, who's a member of the NRA, the Brady Center, and he's nationally known, who will discuss the history of gun policies. Dale Carson, who's a former police officer and an instructor for the FBI, and currently a defense attorney, will discuss how gun ownership has changed the way our police are trained and deployed. And then Gene Francis, who's with Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense, will discuss their legislative priorities, Survivors Network, and educational programs for families and the community. So all sides of the issue are going to be covered. It's just, it's meant to be educational and stimulate thoughts and discussion. 7 o'clock via Zoom, and you can go to beacheswatch.com to find the link to join the meeting, and questions, audience will be able to ask questions via chat.
Thank you, Ms. Golding. Mr. Meza?
Yes, good evening. Yes, good evening, everyone. On Friday night, a local business here lost an employee to a tragic car accident after she left work. So today we had a volleyball tournament, but we actually ended up raising money, and all the bars and restaurants came together to raise money. All the funds are going to help with the family and the burials. But just an example of the community coming together. We had a tragedy a couple of weeks ago with Timmy Obi. The community came together, very sad. But it's good to see the community coming together for someone here at the beaches, and very happy that we could see that. And one last comment is congratulations to Ms. Sandy Golding on her anniversary. 32 years, correct? Well, congratulations, and I wish you guys many, many more.
Yeah, he's put up with me a long time.
Ms. Dumont?
Thank you. I'd just like to relay the appreciation and thanks and gratitude of the people who live by Huguenot Park for the new fountain in the lake. Jason and your team, you have done a fabulous job. They really appreciate it. The emails just kept coming in today that after the picture was sent, that it was working again. So thank you very much.
Mr. Stokes?
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate Caleb Dressel and Ryan Murphy for their Olympic medals, Duval County hometown residents. Also wanted to wish Garrett Scantling luck in the Olympics. He was a fellow Episcopal alumnus, so I think he was a grade or two behind me, so very cool to see him participating in the Olympics today, tomorrow, sometime this week in the decathlon, so wish him the best of luck.
Now, Green Cove Springs is claiming Caleb Dressel. Green Cove Springs is claiming Caleb Dressel. No. That's it's Duval adjacent though, I give you that.
Duval on his Instagram or hashtag.
Oh, okay. Well, who doesn't want Duval? I wanted to.
We went to high school in Duval.
There you go. That's it. We had a busy weekend at the beach. I participated in the Corporal Andy Lavender 5K. Nothing like 5K on the hottest day of the year, but there's also nothing like the problem of suicide among our first responders and military. So it was good to be out there with several of the other organizations that are working to help spread awareness and prevent suicide. I did complete the race. There was no Olympic time being beaten to stay within the theme. Went straight, and also during that the Mennonach Marathon swim was happening, which a lot of our local lifeguards participate in. It's a 3-point-something mile swim, and I think that group has been sponsoring this swim for, do you know, Jason, 70-something years? Been a very long time. So our lifeguards, current and even, I think the winner was a retired guard, so they come out and participate in that every year, which was great to watch from the shore. And then went from there to Back to School with Beam, which is the annual event that Beam puts together to provide clothes, school supplies, everything like that. Read USA was there providing free books to every child, socks, undies, all the things that kids need to get a good start as they go back to school. So it was quite different this year due to COVID concerns. So it had a different footprint, but it's been at Beach Church for a very long time now, and they're wonderful hosts here in our community of that event. So was glad to see that be a success, and thank you to everybody on our city staff who helped to support all of those events as well. Any other announcements from council? Great. Courtesy of the floor to visitors, we'll start with Kimberly Popovics. If you want to come to the podium and state your name and address, you'll have 3 minutes to address the council.
Hello. Kimberly Popovich. I live at 3384 Whippoorwill Court. And I represent 221 homeowners in the sanctuary of Jacksonville Beach. First of all, thank you all for doing what you do as well. A number of years ago, the city of Jacksonville Beach asked our board and our engineer for some information on drainage in our community, because you were gathering information to do a study. In 2014, 2015, and 2016, we asked for the study results to no avail. And in 2016 and 2017, Hurricanes Matthew and Irma creamed us pretty good. So now we see the construction. We've been told by the city that the drainage is being redirected away from downtown and away from us, but we haven't been able to see a drawing. We found the budget. I just recently found the bid that went out to the contractors. We see all of the construction going on, but nowhere does it say that the city is taking any of the redirecting any of the drainage away from us. As a matter of fact, the city of Jacksonville Beach has drainage easements coming into our community, into a lake I live on. So we'd like to know what the results of that study was. We have a civil engineer who has been working with us for more than 10 years. After Hurricane Irma, I put together a group of individuals in our community, several of whom are engineers themselves, a biologist, a builder, developer, and we formed a waterway committee. So we are doing all we can right now to build up our infrastructure. But we need, we have some questions, and I'd like to know who we can talk with at the city, how we can see where's the water going that you're redirecting right now, and we noticed that nothing is being done to the drainage that's coming into our community, which is the lowest part of Jacksonville Beach. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ken Marsh. Ken, I think you know the drill.
Ken Marsh, 2011 Gale Avenue, Jacks Beach. Tonight my topic is talking about ensuring that there's a good partnership dialogue going on between council and with the Adventure Landing developers. When I talk about partnership, what I'm really talking about is just a win for the developer, but also a win for the citizens of Jacks Beach. Last week, I met with Steve Devenau to talk about some alternatives to what he presented to you a few weeks ago. I sat down with him for the purpose of trying to get on the front end of his plans and getting those changes in prior to submission to the city. Here's what I showed him. I explained to him, as we all know, that's a prime piece of property. Deserves something special, something iconic. Certainly what I presented to him falls far short of that, but I didn't want to overreach on any of the alternatives. What you'll see, and what I handed out, are two of the three ideas that I presented. And the first idea is the park and bike depot, where folks can park and they can then get their bikes and then use the future multi-use trails that we're going to have throughout our city. And the second thing is using the conservation area for jogging and nature walking trails, perhaps where we have a tie-in to putting in our kayak or paddle boards. But whether any of this makes the cut is really not my point tonight. My point is for you to do what I did, and that is sit down with the developer and offer up some alternatives. I've been to past council meetings where we've had development issues. Normally what happens is the developer comes to you with the plans, so they've gone through the planning commission. You guys will say, well, it'd be nice if we had this and that. And usually at the end, what happens is what gets passed is what was originally planned. So I'm asking you to have these discussions before we get to that point. What I hope doesn't happen is that the final product doesn't look like the first draft. There's a tremendous opportunity here. And I hope that we don't look at this as just a single project, that we're looking at this and how it ties in with the harbor development, how it might tie in with Beach Boulevard, how it might tie into the first future commercialization of Penman. So all of these things, they're bigger than just that piece of property. I want you to think about the Angelo development property that's going on downtown. It's a single project, but we're calling it a town center project. And it's going to be the seed for something bigger. So I hope that you'll create this partnership dialogue and create something big. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marsh. Ms. Elizabeth Borders? You can state your name and address, so you have 3 minutes to address the council.
Okay, Elizabeth Borders, 2612 America Avenue. I'm also here to speak in regards to the Adventure Landing development. I've been in talks with Ken as well as going up and down America Avenue, behind, talking to others, reaching out to moms on Facebook, reaching out to my local Jacks Beach community, and I'm on the PTA at Seabreeze. When school opens, I'll be talking to those moms as well. So I know that we cannot stop the developer from building the apartments, but I do understand that it's going to require you all to approve their plans. And I just asked, like Ken, that I voted for over half of you up there. And I'm busy. You saw me fly into this room tonight. I got my kid at gymnastics. I was cooking dinner. We're puppy sitting for a friend. We vote for you to speak our voice because we are busy, and we count on you all to stand up for us and to not just approve the first draft. And going back and looking at some of your campaign pages where you say that you want smart growth and you don't want single family homes over apartments. And I'm nervous because I don't speak publicly very often, but I'm just scared that if I don't, then it is just going to get brushed by. And I'm not asking to stop the development, but I would love if you all could just take into consideration that there are not that many places to take our family. I'm not a member of a country club. I can't go to the Ponte Vedra Inn Club or Marsh Landing Country Club. Adventure Landing is where we take our kids in the summer. People get summer passes there. I know that's going away. Why not open it up though for hiking? It just feels like something's being taken away and nobody cares is what it really does feel like. So please don't make me feel that way. Please just have a conversation with the developer and just have a conversation and see where it goes, but just don't pass it without hearing our voice. Thank you.
Thank you. And that is all for public comment. We'll get this clock working by next time, hopefully. So now we have an exciting presentation. The City of Jacksonville Beach is receiving a major award. I'd like to invite Aaron Russell to come up to the podium. Aaron is with the Florida League of Cities to make the presentation. Oh, that looks good.
Is this part of the Fifth Element movie?
Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. There we go. Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and citizens who are here tonight. For the record, my name is Erin Russell, and I am your ambassador from the Florida League of Cities. Our office is located in Tallahassee, Florida. And despite the rain, I'm excited to be in such a beautiful part of the state today. And for those in the audience who may be unfamiliar with the Florida League of Cities, we are an association dedicated to meeting the needs of Florida's 411 cities, towns, and villages. And I am excited to be here tonight because the Florida League of Cities has been recognizing outstanding cities, towns, and villages since 2009 through our Florida Municipal Achievement Awards program with 3 prestigious awards. We have the City Spirit, Florida Citizenship, and the award I am here to present you with tonight, the Environmental Stewardship Award. And this award focuses on city programs that promote conservation, improve and protect environmental conditions, and or provide environmental education and outreach programs within your city. And at a time when cities across the nation are trying to bring their residents together, you guys have been a true leader in this arena through your Clean, Dark, Flat public awareness campaign, which I am here to present you with the award for tonight. So the City of Jacksonville Beach recognized a need in your community, and that was a need to protect an endangered species through community partnership and public education. The city teamed up with Beaches Energy to create the Clean, Dark, Flat public awareness campaign to raise awareness of initiatives that can protect the local loggerhead sea turtle population. And objectives of this program not only included public education, but partnering with the nonprofit organization Beaches Sea Turtle Patrol to raise awareness of Beaches Energy's contributions to this campaign, and to engage the local business community. And I have to say, I absolutely love the Clean, Dark, Flat hashtag. Clean stands for keeping your beaches clean from litter. Dark stands for eliminating lights at night that can distract turtles from reaching the water. And flat means to fill the holes or knock down sandcastles that could trap turtles, something that I had personally never thought of before I learned this campaign. And I just think it's impressive that so much information can be jam-packed into a single hashtag. And that hashtag is memorable, and it's a good reminder for residents and tourists who are visiting your beaches how they can help protect this endangered species. So to promote this message, the City of Jacksonville Beach and Beaches Energy partnered with local coffee shops, including Bold Bean, Breezy Coffee Shop, Cup of Joe, Jack's Beach Brunch House, and Round Bird Coffee Shop, to sell mugs and stickers with the campaign's name. So not only did this help spread the message of the campaign, but it brought much needed traffic into our local coffee shops during the pandemic. So the proceeds of these sales went to the Beaches Sea Turtle Patrol, and the mugs, I was told, sold out within 2 months last year. So congratulations just on that. So I wanted to conclude this presentation with a quote from the nomination that stood out to me. In her letter of recommendation, Mayor Hoffman wrote, "Not many people are lucky enough to witness it, but to me, one of the most incredible things I've seen is watching a trove of baby sea turtles emerge from the sand, gather their bearings, and head towards the moon to begin their lives. It puts you in awe of nature's process and the determination of little sea turtles. Our community knew we needed to partner together in order to help protect one of our natural wonders. And the City of Jacksonville Beach and Beaches Energy did just that. So this program is a testament to the leadership of the mayor, the council, your city staff, and maybe more importantly, your residents who are willing to come together to support this cause. So congratulations to the mayor, council, staff, Deputy City Manager Karen Nelson, Chief Financial Officer Ashley Gossett, and Alan Putnam and Deborah Deneen from Beaches Energy for your leadership. Congratulations also to Fran Lucido and Nancy Seeley from Shepherd Agency Team, and Jen Burns from the Beaches Sea Turtle Patrol for your hard work. This program would not have been the success it was without the partnership between these organizations and your residents. And the Florida Municipal Achievement Award is the highest award that we present to cities. The City of Jacksonville Beach's nomination was excellent, and your efforts in engaging citizens was extraordinary. So in addition to the award I'm here to present tonight, the City of Jacksonville Beach will be featured on our website, on our social media platforms, and in our statewide Quality Cities magazine. So now I would like to ask the mayor to step forward. I'd like to ask Alan and Fran and those part of the project. Yeah, right up front. You were part of this.
You were the original. Actually, you were part of this.
All right. Now, on behalf of the Florida League of Cities, I am honored to present the City of Jacksonville Beach with the prestigious 2021 Florida Municipal Achievement Award for the Environmental Stewardship category. Congratulations. It will block anyone.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave this right here. Everyone can
It's fragile.
Put it up here.
Very nice.
I like that winning award feeling. You're going to need to do that more often. No pressure, staff, but a really incredible program. And while I got to receive the award as the representative of the city, there were so many more city staff involved, our local coffee shop community, and Beaches Sea Turtle Patrol really just inspire us all the time, especially this time of year when you guys are out there every morning checking for nests, marking them, doing the identification, everything that you need to do to make sure the citizens and the visitors are aware of what's going on. And then all year, making sure that they're informed and aware of our sea turtle population. So you inspired us, you've inspired the city. The mugs are absolutely beautiful, so I'm not sure who's designing those within the Shepherd group, but they are just absolutely works of art and are collectible. So hopefully, I think people are going to start to see, when those come out and they're for sale, I think people are going to grab them. So I anticipate we'll probably start selling these out just even quicker. So make a note, order more next year. So a really incredible campaign, a fantastic hashtag, and a wonderful group of collaborators coming together has made this such a success, and hopefully it'll pay off in our sea turtle population. I didn't really think about knocking down sandcastles either and the impact that makes, but I advise wait till the kids are done building the sandcastle and have fun home before you knock them down, because that's going to create a whole other set of problems. But thank you to the Florida League of Cities for recognizing the city of Jacksonville Beach and this effort in particular. And I think that now we have a check presentation. So representatives from the Shepherd Agency and representatives from Beach's Sea Turtle Patrol. You want everybody to come on up? Oh, thank you.
Before we present the check, Council President Director Beecher, I just want to say that, it's wonderful that they even allowed us to be part of this campaign. We had to go to them first. I mean, this is their thing. So thank you for allowing us to be part of this campaign. We enjoyed it so much. So, So on behalf of Beaches Energy and the City of Jacksonville Beach, we want to present this check for $7,500 to the Beaches Sea Turtle Patrol. Great job. One more. Thank you.
So we'll have 4 weeks.
And how many mugs was it this year?
Just under 800.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
All right, new goal, everybody, for next year. So. Thank you, everyone, to all involved. It's always nice to be recognized, but I can speak for everyone up here on the dais. I'm sure that we're really proud of this program, recognition or otherwise, and our citizens love it. The coffee shops love it, and it really gives everybody an opportunity to not only help with the awareness, but literally donating money to the people that are making it happen and helping protect our sea turtle population at the beach here. So thank you. Another round of applause. I like it. Okay, anyone who's here for the sea turtle presentation who doesn't want to stay for the rest of the meeting, this is your cue, but you are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. Don't feel unwelcome at all. Our next item, 145, City Manager.
This next item is for a change order and increase in the project dollar amount for human-machine interface at our pollution control plant. I'd like to turn it over to our Public Works Director, Dennis Pound, to say a few words about the project and what we're asking for.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This project is actually a continuation of a project that we originally started about a little over a year ago, which has to do with our SCADA system at the wastewater plant and tying it together with the water plant, which came after I kind of reorganized the department. So the project itself was to do upgrades to our SCADA, which is what controls the wastewater plant and its functions and operations, and it meshes with the employees and what they do, how they make it do what it needs to do, how they see when there's issues and problems. And it was time to be upgraded. Some of the couple things that you saw in this was an invoice that was included in this that had to do with some work they thought was going to be simply a cut and paste of a couple 100,000 ID tags from one program to another that ended up being a 100% manual operation piece. So it was literally search out every tag and re-enter it on the new spreadsheet to get it all to work. So Part of that includes an unforeseen kind of a bill for actually being able to do the work that was unexpected on our behalf, as well as the contractors. They expected this to be able to be something. Archimedes has been working with us as our sole provider for the wastewater plant, and this should be the culmination and the completion of that project as this gets moved forward.
Thank you, Mr. Barron. Can I get a motion?
I move that we approve invoice and quote for Archimedes Systems, Inc. in the aggregate amount of $61,075 for completion of the HMI project and declare Archimedes Systems, Inc. as a sole source provider for future purchases.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from council? Mr. Mesa.
Just a quick question. How many more projects do you guys have? And you guys have gotten an estimate of the amount of the project, and then you guys might get a different cost in the near future of your future projects.
It normally doesn't happen in that kind of direction. This is kind of a weird one because it is our sole source and it does control all of the computer systems and how everything works. So we got to count on that vendor to kind of give us an accurate accounting of what things are going to be. We also did some changes as we maneuvered through this program. We ended up, which are some prices that aren't included in this, where we had to get a different tablet to be able to get into that system remotely and a few other things. So we don't normally expect to see that. I know after the fact they come back through and had some discussions with us on how we need to move this forward and some things that changed in the project from the original. This project actually began pre-COVID, so some of that changed over the process because of COVID and how they could actually get the work done completed that they needed to do. So there's no more that I know of out there.
Any other discussion from council? Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Jansen?
Yes.
Councilmember Meza?
Yes.
Councilmember Nichols?
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes?
Yes.
Councilmember Dumont?
Yes.
Councilmember Golding? Yes. Mayor Hoffman?
Yes, motion carries. Item 146, do we have a presentation from staff?
Yes, I'm going to turn this one over to our Recreation and Parks Director, Jason Fatidis. He's going to talk to you about the award of an RFQ for completion of the city's Urban Trail Master Plan.
Jason Fatidis, Director of Parks and Recreation. So I think it was last month we came to council, presented you with the opportunity to approve the recommendation of our result from an RFQ where we selected a consultant to develop the master plan for urban trail system. Council approved that. We went back and we negotiated a contract scope and fee with them. The fee is $175,200 that we're asking council to approve tonight, and also the scope of services. That scope includes community outreach. It would identify ultimately the map of the trail, and include things like the implementation plan as well as the maintenance of the trail and the branding thereof. And so we're asking council to approve that tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Fatidis. We do have one speaker card. Mr. Marsh, do you want to come up and address the council? We have 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah, so 3 o'clock. Thank you. 10 March 2011, Yale Avenue. First, I fully support the funding of this agenda item, but I wanted to make sure that everybody is on the same page as to what you guys expect the consultant to deliver. I'm an avid cyclist, and I've been on just about every street in this city. And needless to say, this city is not cycle friendly. It comes as no surprise to you guys that the various councils before you did a poor job in creating extra land for the future multi-use trail. So whatever the consultant comes up with is somewhat determined by where you guys want this trail to take us, no pun intended. But as you approve this money, I would ask you to consider to what degree you guys are thinking about right-of-way easement, acquisitions, turning certain streets into one-way, because we're not going to be able to create land. You're very constrained here. I know you know that. I'd also like you to think about this as a transit opportunity. For the next 20 years, where are we going to be with e-bikes, scooters, and mobility devices we probably haven't even considered? You know, we know that we've got a constrained road network as it exists today. Other than Penman, we're not going to be able to expand A1A or South Beach Parkway much. So I would ask that as you look at the multi-use trail, think of it broader than just recreation, that maybe there's an opportunity here making it more of a mobility transportation design for the future. And while I got a minute, I'll plug thinking about park and bike depots where you can park and then use these multi-use trails. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marsh. Can we get a motion on this item?
I move that we approve the scope of services and fees for CHW professional consultants for the development of the Urban Trails Master Plan and the additional task at South Beach Park in the amount of $228,240.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion from council? Mr. Nichols.
Just Jason, everybody, just really appreciate moving this forward as quickly as possible. I think this is something that we absolutely need. And Mr. Marsh's ideas about how we, so I just want to make sure we're thinking outside the box when we're creating the room in order to be able to safely move around the community on bicycles and other modes of transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Yes, we're excited to get together with the consultants. We think that they have all the credentials to pull this project together, but not only that, we've got a very good, what I feel is a steering committee, representative of staff throughout the city that, together we can create intuitive paths that meet the needs.
Absolutely. I've seen some of the projects that this consultant's done, and it's they've got some good people over there, so I think we'll get some good results.
One other thing I forgot to mention, I know you'd appreciate it, part of their scope would be the grant funding helping us solicit.
Fantastic. For the trees. Yes. Well, also looking into the trees for the city to be able to, for landscaping, to be able to add that into, in addition to other grant funding. Yes,
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. Nathan?
How long will it take them to get all this stuff together and ready for presentation?
So the plan ultimately is that we have a kickoff meeting within a week or so of this, of the approval, and then the final master plan should be delivered sometime early March, which is on schedule for us. That would give us indication of, the following year's budget, how much we need to set aside and appropriate, and that type of thing.
Okay, and question, since we talked about the budget earlier, is this a conversation we have now or next year about if we want to, you said borrow money or just pay as we go? So is this...
That'd be a conversation for next year once we get an idea of the costs. We do have within our CIP plan, within your budget, you'll see that there's $300,000 per year earmarked for each of the next 5 years. So that's a fallback, that's very conservative, if the city wants to do a pay-as-you-go type methodology. And then obviously the more aggressive would be if you wanted to do it in an accelerated fashion and potentially borrow to get it done.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Golding?
Thank you, Mayor. For the benefit of the public, I just want to emphasize the fact that this does include a public engagement plan, and I'm really glad to see that. The other thing that I thought was really great was the public engagement plan includes a virtual component, because if we're going to get this master plan done as soon as we can, we have to take into account what's going on with COVID, and that some people are not going to be comfortable joining in on a public meeting. So it looks like there's a lot of thought been put into this, and I really appreciate it, because the public engagement piece is very, very important. So thank you for making sure that that's definitely a part of this.
I was also going to commend the public engagement component, because I think we do have a lot of resources and expertise within our community that can help us contribute to this. Any other questions or comments from council? Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Meza?
Yes.
Councilmember Nichols?
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes?
Yes.
Councilmember Dumont?
Yes.
Councilmember Golding?
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen?
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman?
Yes, motion carries. Next item, 147, presentation from staff.
This will be another item for Director Fatides, but this is talking about the design, furnishing, and installation of replacement playground equipment at Sunshine Park.
So Sunshine Park, as council knows, very popular, I think iconic park here at the beach and I think throughout the county really. That playground was built in 2001. It's a wooden structure. It's taken a lot of weathering over the last 20 years. We have been, funding the ongoing renovation and it needs replacement at this time. We also recognize that there was a lot of community sentiment that helped build that initial structure, and we want to maintain that. So we are going to engage some of the community that helped build the original structure, as well as further community outreach. But we put together an RFP trying to assimilate all these factors and pick a vendor that could produce something that would be just as iconic in the next 20 or even 40 years. We had 5 respondents to that RFP. City staff got together. It was unanimous in our choice. And coincidentally, the company that we picked were not the original builders, but most of their staff looked like they were a spin-off. So they definitely captured the sentiment and emotion there, and we thought provided the best response to that RFP. What will happen if council approves that tonight is we will then continue to engage them in community outreach meetings and then come back to council to approve a final design and for them to go back and complete the turnkey project.
Thank you, Mr. Fatides. Can we get a motion?
I move that we award RFP number 03-2021 to Play by Design LLC for Sunshine Park Playground Equipment Design, Furnish, and Install.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from council? Ms. Golden.
I just want to make a comment. I was talking with one of the ladies who was involved in Sunshine Park originally, back in the early 2000s, and she just wanted to let you know that she's very happy with the way things are going and the direction things are going in and how well the Parks Department is listening to them. So thank you again for another great job.
Excellent. Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Nichols?
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes?
Yes.
Councilmember Dumont?
Yes.
Councilmember Golding?
Yes?
Councilmember Jansen?
Yes.
Councilmember Meza?
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman?
Yes, motion carries. Our next item, number 148, is regarding selection of the city attorney. We have had some pretty extensive whittling down to our top 2 candidates. And we did, oh, look at that. And we did virtual interviews on July 26th, seems like so long ago, with Elizabeth LoConte and Sandra Robinson. When we last gathered as a council, we were evenly split. So that's why we did those final interviews to allow our 7th member the chance to spend some time getting to know each of these candidates. So I'm going to say at this point, we have 2 very qualified and very skilled candidates. But I will ask for a motion for whoever makes the motion, suggested candidate. We'll go ahead and go through the discussion and the vote at that point, and it'll be either up or down on that. Ms. Dumont.
I make a motion that we provide an offer to Ms. Robinson to be our next city attorney and begin the negotiation process.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Mr. Stokes.
I just have a question, probably to be answered by Mr. Stefopoulos or somebody on staff, is I was just woke up this morning and started going through absolutely everything again. And one thing that I noticed that I had overlooked in previous meetings was under the qualification criteria, that in the education experience, the government law certification is preferred, but a valid Florida driver's license is required. The driver's license for Ms. Robinson is Virginia. I don't know if that is an issue. It's just something that I noticed, and so I wanted to bring it up because it is in the qualification criteria.
That's typically not an issue for anyone that we haven't had coming in from out of state. It's to make sure that they can get a driver's license once they're here. I believe that was in Mr. Barron's for his Public Works Director as well, coming from Illinois.
Well, in that case, I think it's something, I didn't see it when we put out the job posting, but it might be something to look at in our job postings as being preferred but not required, that it is a Florida driver's license, because it is in there as required. And I noticed it this morning and said, oh, that's strange. And I had noticed it after reading this qualification probably 3 to 5 times beforehand.
Typically, when we're doing the interview process, if the person does not have a driver's license or does not have the ability to obtain a driver's license, that's where it would pose an issue with fulfilling their responsibilities within the position. Normally, if your license is suspended, something bad has happened, and that may preclude you from doing the job to its fullest.
Thank you. Ms. Dumont?
Thank you. My rationale for selecting Ms. Robinson was I think she will be a very good fit for this city and our city staff. I've also got that feeling when I listened to city staff's feedback. It was 2 years ago this month that we were going through this process. And I don't want to have to do this in 2 more years. I would like to have someone who I feel confident will be a strong team member within our staff, and I feel that she has the right qualities, personality, and level-headedness to be our next city attorney for the long term.
Ms. Golding?
I just wanted to make a few comments as well. I am supporting Mrs. Robinson. I was going back through the interviews that we did, and some of the things that came out when we spoke to her was her over 30 years of experience, and during that time she has covered a lot of subject matter, and I think there's a lot to be said for that, which means she will be prepared to deal with a lot of the things that are going to come before her. She mentioned she has been a steady hand throughout her tenures, and she did come off as a very level-headed and thoughtful attorney. She also said that she can provide experience in collaborative work, and thank you to the staff for your input, because I think that the teamwork part of it is an important piece of it, and she did talk a lot about teamwork and how important the staff being happy is an important part of the environment for her. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, because I know there have been some concerns about the fact that she has been an attorney in Virginia, I looked into this, and in order to be licensed in Florida, you have to maintain your license through regular continuing education. And my understanding is that continuing education is Florida focused, so she does have the knowledge that I believe that she would need to get started in this position, since she does have the license, the Florida bar license. So again, based on all of the things that we've heard and the staff's input, I agree with Ms. DeMont. I think she would be a good fit, and I will be supporting her.
Any other comments from council? Ms. Dumont?
Forgot to mention that I did read the writing sample that she provided. Excellent in written communication, extremely clear. Loved the First Amendment argument with the parade. That one was very telling, so she'll be very well suited when it comes to sign issues, when we get to any of that. But her written communication is impeccable, as well as her verbal communication. She can boil down her thoughts into a tight, succinct, what I'm not doing now, in a very tight and succinct manner, and I think that that would be very appreciated by staff, as well as her writing style. It lays it all out. It's very well done. I was impressed. I write a lot.
I agree with that. I think her ability to kind of boil things down and explain them simply to the lay folks that are up here on the dais is going to be a big advantage. So I definitely support and continue to support her, Ms. Robinson, as our candidate for city attorney, and even more so the further we went in the interview process. So just kind of the last Zoom really solidified my thoughts on that. Mr. Stokes.
I just wanted to say that I think we're very lucky in this position to have two people that we're, I feel like, really torn between, and have both had excellent interviews. You know, a lot of times when I interview people, I can come away from the interview and say, wow, this person is top qualified and this person isn't. I feel like I watched all the interviews again, and I literally came away just saying, wow, we're lucky to have two qualified candidates in that, both interviewed well and, both have extensive knowledge in the law and have both had, long successful careers in law and outside of law. And I think it's just very fortunate for our city to actually come into that. And I know this is one that I am struggling with on who I think I've gone back and forth probably since 7 a.m. And just can think of all the positives that both of them would bring to the city of Jacksonville Beach. So I think that we're very, very fortunate, and either way we're going to get a very competent city attorney.
Mr. Nichols.
I agree with what Councilmember Stokes said. However, after the third interview, I didn't see anything that would change my initial vote. I think they're both very good, but I definitely give the edge to LaConte. So that's how I'll be voting.
Any other comments from council? Mr. Mesa.
Can we hire both of them?
Hopefully not in 2 years from now. Any other comments from council? So the motion on the floor is to extend an offer to Ms. Robinson as our city attorney. So a yay vote supports Ms. Robinson, and nay vote doesn't necessarily support the other candidate, but opposes Ms. Robinson. Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Stokes.
Yeah, well, I could start. Can I have like 2 minutes? Can I have like 2 minutes to think? I've been split on this all day. I mean, I've literally been grasping for which one, and it's such a big position. I do feel like Ms. Robinson will be a good fit for Jacksonville Beach, and her deep experience in municipal government. Although a no vote does not mean a yes for the candidate. I don't want to vote no twice. So give me like 2 seconds, and I'll make a decision. I will vote yes.
Councilmember Dumont.
Yes.
Councilmember Golding.
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen.
No.
Councilmember Mesa.
No.
Councilmember Nichols.
No.
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. So the motion to offer Ms. Robinson the position of city attorney prevails. So the next step would be to, we need to decide on the next step, but that would be, as we've done with past employment offers, is to put a negotiation team together. It's been suggested earlier, I believe, by Ms. Dumont that we bring in outside counsel to assist us with preparing contract and negotiating. I think Cliff Shepherd would probably be the right person for that. So I would suggest that we engage Cliff Shepherd, Ken Bennett, our HR director, and myself as representative of council to be that negotiation team. Does anybody have any comments or concerns with that recommendation? Ms. Dumont?
Not with that recommendation. I think the recommendation is fine. I just want to lay this out there that we have going to be putting out an offer to a city attorney where the vote was 4-3. And that's going to be an uncomfortable position. So I do hope that she realizes that she will be very welcome in the city, and we look forward to hearing her reply to our proposal.
Thank you. Ms. Golding?
I just want to say that I agree with your proposal, Mayor, and I also agree with Ms. Dumont. Even though it was a very close vote, I think everyone agrees that we had some good candidates, and I hope that that Ms. Robinson doesn't feel that she's coming in with some people that maybe are not supportive.
Thank you. Mr. Mesa?
I wish we could have all voted in favor of one candidate in particular instead of being split, but I do agree with Councilwoman Dumont. We will welcome her. I will welcome her as well. I was very split on voting. I am still happy Ms. Robinson got the job. I still would have been happy if LeComte would have got hired. But let's welcome Ms. Robinson with open arms and show her, what's the hashtag? The beach night? Let's embrace her with open arms and show her around and welcome her with arms.
Thank you. Mr. Stokes?
One thing that I thought about this morning and have been thinking about all day is that we require a supermajority for removal, but we don't require a supermajority for appointments. I think it's worth examining, since we're in charter review and this is an issue located in the charter, that I can't remember when that section comes up. I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but I just wanted to pass that along to city staff, that I think that we should have that go into a discussion, because to the point, we want to be maybe not all the way an agreement, but at least have a supermajority in a position that has got a great amount of brevity, depth. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but if we require the removal of a supermajority, I think that might be something to look into to require for appointment, because like I said, I needed a couple minutes, because literally since 7 a.m. I've been back and forth. So I think the supermajority should be something required for both hiring and removal. So I would like that to be noted for whatever section that comes up.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Mr. Nichols?
I have a question for the city manager. Was the police chief, I know the city had some input, was the police chief spoken to, or the police department, and in your time that you were going through an analysis process?
No, the police chief was on vacation during the last 3+ weeks and did not participate in observing any of the interviews, so he was not. Several other department directors were not as well. I think one of the things I tried to relay to you all is that the people who provided the input from the staff perspective were those in administration that would be working closest with the individual. But that was myself, Ms. Nelson, Chris Wright in administration, Elise Broche, our legal assistant, and Sherry Gosselin, the clerk. And we did also receive some verbal input from both Mr. Barron and Ms. Ireland, who participated in driving the two of them around for the tour of the cities.
Mr. Nichols, just a reminder, the discussion on the floor is the path forward with the person who we had voted on already. Is your question germane to that topic?
I have one more question, yes. If we were unable to come to an agreement with Ms. Robinson, will Ms. LeConte be, will this come back with her without having to go through the process again.
This would come back before council to decide the next steps to take if we're not able to reach an agreement with Ms. Robinson. Does everybody agree with that? Okay. Any other discussion on the negotiation team to extend negotiate contract with Ms. Robinson? Can someone make a motion to that effect? We'll make it official. Ms. Dumont, sorry, I thought you turned your light on. Ms. Dumont?
I heard clicking.
I'd like to make a motion to have outside counsel Cliff Shepherd, our HR manager, and Karen Nelson, who was the third? You. And Mayor Hoffman to form the team to offer Ms. Robinson, to go into negotiation with Ms. Robinson as city attorney.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this motion? Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Dumont,
Yes.
Councilmember Golding,
Yes?
Councilmember Jansen,
Yes.
Councilmember Meza,
Yes.
Councilmember Nichols,
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes,
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. I just want to say that I hope that you sleep well tonight, Mr. Stokes, now that the decision has been made. To thank everybody on this dais and our city staff for helping ensure a smooth process. It was a difficult one. We had very qualified candidates. As you can see, the council was very much torn about this. But we've also only had one in-house city attorney, and we know what's possible. And we know the possibility and how much more productive we can be as a city with having a really strong person in that position. So I'm looking forward to hopefully quickly welcoming Ms. Robinson into our community. I know that you all will too. So thank you guys all for your efforts and your deliberation that you put into this decision. And with that, I think that's it. Meeting is adjourned.